Hey, what's going on, guys? Dr. Gonzo Boogie here again, back for another update video. I have some really cool stuff to show you guys here, like always. This is going to be a small collection update video. I don't have too much to show here, but I have a lot of different things to show. I have a few DVDs, a few Blu-rays, a little stack of tapes, and then I also picked up a few figures and toys, and I also picked up a couple posters. So I don't really have a lot to show here, but I have a lot of different types of things to show. So I figured it would make an interesting video anyway. So I'm just going to show you guys what I got, and I'm going to start off with the Blu-rays. So first off here I picked up a few more Blue Underground Blu-rays. For some reason I've really been obsessed lately with collecting the Blue Underground Blu-rays, so I've been trying to collect and pick up as many of those as I can. I picked up The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, which is also known as Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. You can get a Anchor Bay and a Blue Underground DVD of that version called Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, and you can also get a 2-disc DVD version of The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, and I'm pretty sure this is the uncut version, and I think Let Sleeping Corpses Lie is like the theatrical cut of this movie, so I think it's the cut version of the movie, but I'm not 100% on that. But this is really cool. I actually used to have Let Sleeping Corpses Lie years ago on Anchor Bay DVD, and it was a decent zombie movie. I'm pretty sure this is a Spanish zombie movie, if I remember. And I remember it being really, really good. Very spooky, very atmospheric, but I can't remember much more than that. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out again. Really cool cover art there, too. And it has some extras on here that seem pretty sweet, too. Not sure if you guys can read those, but there it is, The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. And then next up, this is the only other Blu-ray I have here to show, and it's also another Blue Underground release, and this is City of the Living Dead from Lucio Fulci, and I've never seen this one before. I'm a big fan of his other movies, seen Zombie and The Beyond a bunch of times each. Two of my favorite Italian horror movies, actually. Really cool stuff, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out. I actually don't know too much about this one, so if you guys, have any opinions on this one, let me know in the comments if you think this one is any good or anything like that. But just really cool here, and like I said earlier on in this, I'm trying to collect basically all of these Blue Underground releases, because in my opinion, they're kind of the equivalent of Anchor Bay Blu-rays, since Anchor Bay Blu-rays really don't, they didn't put out too many of their exploitation and some of their weirder horror movies. They mainly just put out like Dawn of the Dead and Evil Dead on Blu-ray. So I just think it's cool to get these editions, the Blue Underground editions on Blu-ray, and they kind of had the same style as the DVDs had, which had a similar style to Anchor Bay, since Blue Underground was originally a sister company to Anchor Bay. So you know what I'm saying. These just remind me of basically getting Anchor Bays on Blu-ray. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm kind of obsessed with collecting these lately. And also you can get them for pretty cheap. They're actually some of the cheaper horror DVDs like this you can get out right now. I know they're a little bit cheaper than the Scream Factory and the Arrow releases. So for a collector on a budget like myself, it's a good way to get some weirder horror movies on Blu-ray. So really happy about this one too. Alright, and then next up I said I had a few DVDs here. Nothing too special here, but I picked this up, the Halloween 4, the original Nightmare. This is the Echo Bridge edition of this. I picked this one up at Kmart, brand new for like $3.99. I actually went to Kmart around Halloween time just to see what they had, because for a long time in my life, I've always checked out Kmart around Halloween time, because they usually have a decent selection of horror movies, and I was a little disappointed this year. In past years I've gone and they've had Anchor Bay editions of Evil Dead and Halloween, which I already have a ton of those, so I don't need those anyways, but I was a little disappointed because most of the releases they had were like these real budgety type releases from Mill Creek and Echo Bridge, so I was a little disappointed, but I picked this one up anyway because I already have the first 3 Halloween movies on DVD, so I figured why not pick up the 4th one too, and especially since I got it for dirt cheap, brand new. Pretty sure this probably isn't the best horror movie, but I can't remember if I've seen this one or not. I've seen a lot of the Halloween movies, and I remember most of the sequels not being too good. Alright, and then last up for the DVDs here, I actually picked up the 2-disc Immortal Edition of Highlander, which Highlander is one of my favorite science fiction action movies. Just an awesome movie. This movie suffers from having horrible sequels. Not one sequel to this movie was good. So this movie is definitely just worth checking out alone. You know, I wouldn't even bother with the sequels. The second one is so bad that some people consider it in that category being so bad that it's actually good. But I put it in that category of it's so bad that it's actually bad, and I would not recommend checking it out. But the first Highlander movie, so badass. One of the coolest sci-fi action movies ever. And this is the 2-disc special edition from Anchor Bay. I also had the single disc release of this from Anchor Bay too, which I plan on holding on to also, because this was a little bit beat up. The discs are actually in mint condition, but the packaging was a little beat. It has this metal slipcase around it, and there's some dents and scuffs on it. But I got this one used for about $5. So I'm not complaining too much. And this is what the inside of this one looks like. It has a similar artwork as the other release, a single disc release. And it says featuring original material from Queen. And the cool thing about this is Queen did some of the soundtrack for Highlander. And this edition comes with the music videos. And it also comes with a bonus CD with 3 of the singles from that time, or 3 of the songs from the Highlander movie that Queen did on it, which I think is pretty cool, because, Queen is a, decent rock band, really. They put out some really, really great stuff, and the soundtrack they did for this movie is really cool, too, so I'm actually happy to get some of that stuff. And other than that, just a decent addition to this movie. I would say if you can find this in really good condition, I would say this is probably the best edition you can get of Highlander on DVD. I like the artwork that they did on this, and I liked everything else about it. And it also comes with a nice little booklet too. So all around, I was really happy with picking this one up for $5, even though it wasn't in the best of shape. Alright, and then I have a small stack of tapes here. First off, we have The Mummy, and this is actually the Hammer Mummy movie, but you probably wouldn't even be able to notice from the cover because it has a very cartoony, almost Goosebumps-esque cover going on here, which I thought was cool. I saw this laying down on a table at a thrift store, and I instantly, grabbed it and looked at it, and then when I noticed it was the Hammer one, I was like, definitely picking this up. And it wasn't in the best condition. I would say the bottom of this was a little bit beat up, but other than that, it was still pretty good. I picked this one up at a thrift store for like $1. Maybe it was even 50 cents. This is cool because actually on tape I only have the Dracula Hammer movies. I don't have any of the Frankenstein mummies or any of the other random ones that are around. So I was glad to finally get something other than one of the Dracula movies on tape. Because I basically almost had the whole Dracula series on tape, but I've yet to find any of the other Hammer movies on tape. So glad to pick this one up and get it. And this is a really good one anyway. This one, their original Dracula movie, Horror of Dracula, and The Curse of Frankenstein are probably three of the best Hammer movies to check out. So pretty cool here. This is the Warner Brothers release of this. Pretty nice looking tape there. Alright, next up, Return of the Fly with Vincent Price. Really cool tape here. Love this movie. Love the original Fly movie too. Awesome movies. Really good stuff. And you gotta love this cover art here. I love the face Vincent Price is making here. Just a classic gross out, get away from me face. And the Fly Beast in this movie is just awesome looking too. This is just a great movie. Love these movies, and this is a really nice looking tape too. I've always kind of wanted to get the 2 Fly movies on tape. This one and the first one. So I'll have to keep my eyes out for the first Fly movie. Classic stuff there. I also picked up Tales from the Crypt. This is the old Amicus one from the 70s, early 70s. And this is pretty cool. It's actually been a while since I've seen this movie. I used to have the Midnight Movie DVD release of this years ago, but I don't anymore. But I do plan on picking up the Scream Factory Blu-ray of that. It also comes with the other one. For some reason I can't remember the name of that one right now. Something like Tales of Terror or something like that. I feel real stupid because it's a movie that I know the name of for sure. But yeah, I plan on getting that Blu-ray 2-pack one of these days too. Oh yeah, Balta Horror. Jeez, I don't know what I was thinking there for a minute. But this is pretty cool. Tales from the Crypt, classic Amicus anthology movie that inspired the TV series in a way, I guess, even though this, along with the TV series, were both mostly inspired off the comic books, actually. So, really good stuff here, though. And then last for the tapes is I actually picked up this cool copy of the Batman Adam West movie. This is actually a CBS Fox edition of this that I didn't even know existed. It's a little roughed up on the corners, but I think it's really nice anyway. And if you're watching this, Mike, this is like what this one looks like. I was telling you about it on the phone, and there's some scribbles on the cover. I can't tell if what that is. I don't know if it's an autograph or a fake autograph or just scribbles, but that's the condition of this tape. If you're wondering about that, Mike, if you're watching this. So Batman the movie, classic stuff here. Alright, then next up here, I have a couple random things to show. Like I said, I have a few figures and a few posters to show that I picked up. So first off here, I'll just show you guys this. This I picked up at Walmart randomly. I was looking around their toy section, and they had this hanging around, a Christine car. This is a line that Hot Wheels is putting out right now based off of cars from famous movies. So this is, of course, based off the Stephen King movie and also the John Carpenter movie, Christine, which is really cool. So basically picked this one up for the John Carpenter collection because I'm a big John Carpenter fan, and Christine is, you know, one of his better movies. He has a ton of great movies, but I've always really liked Christine, so this is really cool. I thought this was nice. It was like $5 at Walmart, so I figured why not. There wasn't anything else good there that day, so I was like, yeah, I'll grab this. But next up, I have a few things to show that I picked up at this really cool store I went to on Halloween Day. Me and a couple of my friends went to this store called Wild Bill's Nostalgia, and it's kind of like a little store from my area of the world, and I would say it's like almost like a roadside attraction mixed with kind of like it's like a nostalgia shop. I'm having a hard time thinking of exactly what to call this place, but they have like posters and figures and just everything you would want, magazines, records, just all that stuff. And like the whole outside of this guy's place is a huge like painting mural thing, and it has like statues, and he has like an abandoned like haunted house amusement park outside the store too. I'll try to post some links in the description of this so you guys can see like pictures of videos of this place, because it's just a really awesome store. I would say the store is almost worth going to alone, but the stuff they have there is worth checking out too. So I was looking around at some of the stuff they had, and I picked up a figure there. Picked up this Aliens figure. This is one of the old Kenner figures from the 90s, and I'm a really big fan of these Kenner figures. They also released Terminator and Predator figures, which I wouldn't mind picking up a few of each. So I was glad to pick this one up, although I would have preferred to get one of the Aliens. I picked this one up because it was based off Ripley, who's the main character in the series, so I thought that was a decent figure to get. And if you're wondering why this looks nothing like Sigourney Weaver, actually this line of figures was based on a cartoon that never got made. So kind of like the real Ghostbusters type thing, where you know the characters don't really look like what they do in the movie. If you get what I'm trying to say with that, and yeah, so that's why all these alien figures look strange. If you're ever wondering about that, and I don't know if the same goes for the Predator and Terminator lines. Like, I don't know if those were going to be cartoons at one time too, and then they were just made into action figures. But I do know that that's the deal with this line from Kenner. So this is really cool. Just glad to get this, and like I said, I wouldn't mind picking up a few more of these. They had a few more of the Alien ones and a few of the Predator ones there. So if I ever head back to this place, I'll probably try to grab another one of those too. They're pretty cool. Alright, and then I have a poster here. It's one of these smaller posters here. I don't know exactly what size to call these, but this is for Dementia 13, which is one of my favorite Roger Corman productions, and actually just one of my favorite low-budget horror movies in general. It's kind of a Psycho ripoff, but I think it deserves a little bit more than that, because it is a very original movie on its own, even though it has a lot of cliches in it. But it's just, I always really liked this movie. Like I said, one of my favorite Roger Corman productions. And of course, it was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, who went on to do a lot more better, important films like The Godfather and other stuff. But this was his first solo directed and written movie, and I think it's a really good one. I think it's, deserves being a cult classic. So this is a nice little poster, based on one of the movie posters. It has this little fun thing written on it about taking some tests called the D13 test, where you have to answer questions before you see the movie in the theater, and if you fail the test, you'll be asked to leave the theater. So just one of those stupid gimmicky things that you saw a lot in 60s movies, and 50s movies with William Castle and stuff like that. So just kind of like a gimmicky little poster thing they have on here. So I thought that was cool. So I was glad to pick that one up. And then also I picked up a Hammer horror poster. And I'm trying to think if I should change the position of the camera to show you guys, or if I should just try to move my computer so you guys can see it. Well, there it is. I picked up a Hammer horror poster, but I will change the position of the camera so you guys can see it better. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, and here we go. I switched the camera angle, so hopefully you guys can see this poster a little better. But it's actually a Dracula Hammer poster with Christopher Lee. This is a really nice poster. I was extremely excited when I saw this there, and I just had to get it. It was only like $10 too. We had a couple other copies of it too, so really cool. But this is, it says Dracula Prince of Darkness on it. But this is actually a photo from Dracula AD 1972, and even in the copyright at the bottom of the poster it says Dracula AD 1972, so I don't know why they have Dracula Prince of Darkness at the top of this and not Dracula AD 1972, but I'm thinking they're almost using that in general and just referring to Dracula as the Prince of Darkness and not exactly referring to the movie, but I'm not sure. But either way, it's an awesome poster. But that was it for this video this time around, guys, and like always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up or leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.